Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to your readings for today. We're actually asking today for an immediate message from Spirit, something you need to know about right here, right now, something that is important, potentially time sensitive, and we'll also potentially draw cards for the coming week. We're going to look at the next 7 days. I post these readings every single Sunday for weekly guidance, but they are timeless. You can always tune into the homepage. If the readings today aren't resonating with you, just tune into the homepage and find a different one. But we have 3 cards, 3 runes, 3 charms to guide you in, and I know sometimes more than one reading will be speaking to you. Trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling, and because they are timeless, you can always find a different one if for some reason something isn't quite sitting with you. Now, beautiful souls, let me hold them up to the camera so you can get a really good look at them. I would sort of recommend just getting still, drop into stillness, just be in that sort of that here and now moment sort of place within yourself and open yourself to receive whatever you need. So pile 1, beautiful souls, we have the card of Deer. This is the card for pile 1. And your rune and your charm, you have Hagalaz, the rune of Hagalaz, and you have also the bat, the charm of the bat. So that's pile 1. Now pile 2, you have the card of Stingray. This is for pile 2. And you have the rune of Berkana, and you have a little fox, beautiful little fox charm. Okay. And then for pile 3, move that here, for pile 3, you have the card of the moth, very beautiful. And your charm and your rune, you have the rune of Algis, and you have the little bird, it's either a swift or a swallow, I think. This is your rune and your charm for pile 3. So my beautiful souls, I am going to leave the video running for a few moments longer so you can just sit and really tune into whichever of these cards, runes, charms are speaking to you. I'll see you in the readings in just a moment. I've put the timestamps below. I'll be putting all the cards that I'm using into the description, and I'll put them all in a comment as well for you too, along with any links that may be relevant or anything that shows up in the readings that might be useful for you. So beautiful souls, tons and tons of love, and I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So let's see what Spirit wishes to tell you about today. Now, what I'm seeing from this card alone and your rune and your charm is that you're actually in a process of some form of transformation, and it's feeling very, very disruptive. You know, something, your world is a little bit hectic. There is a transition, and I think you're aware of that transition. In fact, probably the more aware of it you are, the easier it is to navigate, even if it's difficult. You're processing something, you're growing, you've outgrown a situation, and your world is actually sort of pushing you into growth in many ways. There's no other way. For some of you, things are very, very hectic. For others, there's been a sort of a realization. You've come to a realization that something isn't working for you anymore. And your reading is asking you to go gently with yourself. Be gentle. Don't try to push this or rush it. You won't necessarily find a solution quickly. I mean, the transition will happen. It will unfold. It's a bit like a chrysalis turning into a butterfly. The butterfly will emerge, but you can't force it. If you tried to open the chrysalis more quickly than it needs to open naturally, you would damage the butterfly's wings. It has to emerge in its own time. Something is needing to emerge. Let's get more information for you. Okay, may we have additional guidance and information about this transition. What is taking place? Okay, upper world, future. How interesting. There is a very, very different future in store for you. Actually, I'm going to place this here. There's a very different future in store for you, beautiful souls. Something that hasn't been working, needs to end. And even though your world is feeling, I think this is a difficult sort of transition for you, or there are elements of it that are difficult. Let's get some more information. We have medicine shield, protection. You are being protected through this transition. You may be feeling a little bit vulnerable. That's for sure. I'm really hearing that vulnerability within you. But Source, Spirit, your guides, your angels are looking out for you. You are being protected. So the outcome that's needed will happen here. There's a lot of reassurance being offered to you today, actually. I'm just going to draw your tarot cards next, I think. But yeah, a lot of reassurance is being offered to you. Look at this. We have the Four of Wands. This is a card of celebration. It's a card of commitment. It's a card of sometimes an engagement or a marriage. So whatever this transition, even if it's feeling a little bit sticky or it's not really moving forwards, your future is, I feel that your future is very protected. Your future is actually very, I almost feel like it's planned. You're moving towards some element of either your destiny or your pathway. Something that is meant to be is coming through for you. It's just that you're not there yet. Temperance, yeah, this is absolutely being guided. Wonderful. And it's going to bring, things will come back into balance. That's absolutely for sure. It's just that right here and right now, it doesn't feel very balanced. Ace of Coins, if you're going through, any of you are going through any upheaval in your finances, you're worried about finances, there will be new opportunities coming to you. The Lovers, if you are going through upheaval in relationship, there will be a renewal of either your vows in an existing relationship or a brand new relationship. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of new energy around you. Now this is interesting because the new energy is around you and it's around you right now. I don't think we're just looking into the future. This is a pivotal turning point where you get to, the process you're going through, the rebirth, the transformation, is basically laying the pathway for your future. And the future, I do feel that there's an element of destiny in your reading, actually, if I'm honest. So very, very interesting energy around you. Let's draw some more cards. What else are we shown? Protecting treasure. You see, you're protected. You really are being protected. I think there's a lot of worry and anxiety around you. This reading is predominantly here, goblins. This reading is coming through today with Spirit wanting to reassure you and to try and allay your fears and, you know, the demons in your mind that are perhaps play, you know, the things that play on your mind. When we go over and over the stuff that we think won't work out, you're protected, you are being looked after, your future is being looked after. listening. Spirit is asking you actually to listen and to get still and be gentle with yourself. Also, I think Spirit is asking you to listen to yourself and to listen to your guides. I think they're trying to assist you, and sometimes it's kind of like the demons, the goblins in your head that are in the way of you really being able to hear the signs, the signals, the amazingness that is actually on its way to you. And for some of you, almost around you, I think sometimes there's so much fear and worry that you're not able to see what's immediately around you either. Getting kind of locked into the fear rather than the potential that you're moving towards. I'm going to ask about the coming week, because the message is very clear. You're protected. You don't need to worry in the way that you are worrying. You're being protected, you're being guided, and you're being moved to a future that is bringing things into balance. There will be new starts financially if that's what you're needing. There will be new starts in relationship if that's what you're needing. And I do feel it's coming quite soon, interestingly enough. Let's draw some cards and ask about the coming week. May we ask for information about the next 7 days for pile 1, please. So we have the card of Victim. We have the card of Abundance. Okay. And the card of Self-Worth. This is very interesting. So I feel that there is opportunity this week to shift your own personal perspective, to look through a different lens at your current situation, at the transition. If you view what's going on, because I think for some of you there's a lot of disruption, or you've just reached a point where you kind of reach that breaking point where you just think, I can't do this anymore, this isn't working anymore. I'll ask a little bit more clarification around this in just a moment. Whatever it is that you feel you can't keep going, you can't do it anymore. What you're being asked to do this week is to shift your focus away from feeling as though the world is happening to you, and recognize that what's happening is being guided and it's an opportunity. You're being asked to recognize your value, your self-worth, and that you're entitled to have more than you have currently got. And the disruption and the things that are not okay are kind of showing up, I feel a bit like in full force for some of you, because this needs to change, because you're worth more, because you can have more. You're being asked to shift your attitude here to a space where you can see what's going on around you as a pivotal moment of transformation, rather than something that's causing you a difficulty, okay? Because there's something better for you, something more valuable for you. I'm going to ask a little bit about what is actually going on for you here. Could we have some information about what's actually going on with the rune of Hagalaz? Okay, so cards flying out for you. We have the 5 of Cups. You're definitely, there's something that has proved to be so disappointing. Something that you thought would be abundant and wonderful and prosperous. It could be with the 3 of Pentacles showing up here. We have the Empress and the 3 of Pentacles. It could be with these cards that it could be that a friend has let you down, or it could be that something that you have been working on, a job that you applied for, you really thought it was going to be amazing and it's turned out not to be. You could have been involved in a collaboration and that's just not worked out as you'd hoped. It's been really disappointing. I think it does for many of you involve Perhaps, you know, people didn't show up, they didn't rock up, but it could also be maybe you were promised a really amazing kind of pathway of, I won't say abundance, but, you know, perhaps applied for a job and you were told there would be a pathway forwards with greater monetary return, and it hasn't come to you. Something that you thought would be abundant and fabulous, something that you felt was an opening or a turning point, has turned out not to be, which is a real shame. I'm so sorry. I mean, it's been really, really disappointing. And I think because it's been disappointing, it's left you feeling very much as if the world is kind of dumped on you, actually. Now, I'm not saying that isn't true, because I think it's been really, really tough and really disappointing. But Spirit kind of wants you to know, your Spirit team want you to know, that the reason this didn't work out is because you're worth more. You can have more. There's something bigger, something better, whether that is connected to people or it's connected to finances and your the material stuff of your world. You're worth way more. This is your message. So be gentle with yourself. Stop criticizing yourself. If you're criticizing yourself because you feel you made a bad decision, let go of that. Shift your perspective, beautiful souls, if you can. I know this is difficult when you are struggling and you've withdrawn and retreated and you're feeling really very targeted. But move to a place where you recognize that there's perhaps something you're needing to move away from, or there's something quite magical that will come from this. I'm just going to ask a little bit about what is coming from this actually for you. May we have guidance and information. The card right at the top was coming off. So we have the card of corn. This is about bringing in a harvest. This is a fruitful outcome. The medicine wheel. How interesting. You've got the medicine shield and you've got the medicine wheel. Something had to change. I think you might have settled for less if it wasn't not okay. I think you might have, I don't know, trundled along, rubbed along nicely, but without really fulfilling your greatest potential. This is actually launching you. There's a transition involved here. This is launching you into a place where you can follow a pathway that is so much more right for you. We have the card of Earth. The Earth card actually, again, asks us to shift our perspective away from feeling lack to recognizing everything that we have around us, to live with sort of reverence and regard for absolutely everything, and see everything as a learning curve, and see everything as a space of abundance, because it's a space of growth. And with reverence and integrity, it always says, this card, if you act with reverence and integrity and respect, the universe will really deliver, will give back to you. So whatever is going on here, whatever has disappointed you, it's really time to shift your perspective into a very present here and now space of what is actually present around you, the possibilities. Be gentle. Allow the world to offer you a transformational experience. Very, very interesting reading. Even this card of abundance. Can you see here? We have two people. One who knows that he's dropped a coin and is in a big state of sort of despair over it. And then a really resourceful little person who goes along and finds a magnet. You know, she's resourceful. She's prepared to look at something through the eyes of possibility. And I think that's what you are being asked to do right here and right now. Look at your circumstances through the eyes of possibility, because abundance is coming to you, whether that is abundance financially or abundance in you know, love, relationships, friendships. Pile one, gosh, there's a lot going on for you, there really is, but the future is very, very abundant. We're really getting such a strong sense of you. I think one day, literally with the Earth card, you'll get to a certain point in the future where you'll look back at now and you'll think, wow, why did I even worry about that? Why was I even bothered by that? Because so much has come from it. I feel there'll be a big shift for you. Pile 1, this is your reading. I am sending you so much love. Clearly, there's so much reassurance, reassurance, acknowledgement of that the pathway that you're on, the stuff that's happening is right. It's a transformational process that's leading you to so much more. You are worth so much more than what you have been settling for. Pile 1, thank you so much for being here. If you're new to my channel, thank you and welcome. And if you are a returning person, thank you and welcome again. Beautiful souls, if you have enjoyed the reading, if it's resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. All of these things really do help the channel. And thank you all of you who are thank you all of you who are a part of the Moon Magic Tarot family. Beautiful souls, if you haven't yet watched it, I uploaded yesterday some readings and a conversation with my younger sister Jocelyn, who's an amazing astrologer. It's only on YouTube for 48 hours. It is permanently in Patreon and permanently in the membership area of YouTube. So if you're either a member or you are on Patreon, you'll be able to check out those readings and that conversation at any time. But if you do want to check in on that, I uploaded it yesterday. So do check it out while it's still available here on YouTube. Tons of love, beautiful souls. Pile 2, welcome to your readings. So we are asking for an immediate message for you from Spirit, and we'll check out the next 7 days if it feels right to do so. I am really interested in the energy of your reading. You have the card of Stingray and the fox, the little fox, and Berkana. This is like a new phase of growth. Now, something is going to be changing in your world. There's a new chapter of something that will be occurring. I feel that you're needing to be a little bit shrewd, a little bit wise, almost a little bit stealthy about the way that you approach this. It's kind of like, I feel there's been a circumstance or a situation, and I think you're well on the way to changing it. You know you want to change, you know that there needs to be a new direction or a new chapter or a new way of doing it. But you're having to think carefully about how you navigate it. There's been a bit of a sting in the tail, basically. That's what I'm really hearing from this card. Maybe there have been people around you that haven't behaved particularly well, and you're navigating out of this. You're navigating to somewhere new, to a different space, but you're needing to be very thoughtful about how you approach it. Okay, quite wise, quite stealthy really. And it's appropriate. It's not stealthy in a dishonest way. It's stealthy in a very protective and appropriate way. It would be like if you were in a job at work and somebody had treated you very badly and you were headhunted, and you knew that if you were to reveal that information, your exit might be made more difficult from the job you're in. So you kind of need to keep it under wraps until you absolutely have to tell people. And it isn't that you don't want to be honest, but you know that if you're around people who might react badly, it's better to navigate with awareness. In many ways, you're actually not only looking after yourself, but you're containing the negativity from others that could come into this as well. So it's an all-round good move to be a bit wise and a bit thoughtful. Let's draw more cards. Very interesting energy around you. So we have tree people, sustenance. Okay, that's interesting. And then we have, look at that owl sitting there. And then we have medicine mask, authenticity. You do need to be quite wise about how you handle this. Okay. There is a circumstance around you. It's possible that you may have to sustain something for a little while. Again, what if you were in a job? I'll use just this as a random example, but as an example, it gives a flavour of the kind of energy around. If I use that same example, maybe you have to give 2 months notice or something. So you've got to sustain something for a little while. Something has to be sustained in this situation. And what you've got to do is work out how to sustain it in a way that is going to be authentic and yet also protective and containing at the same time. I think you need to be your authentic self, but also be boundaried. You know, there's a difference. I sort of said right at the start with your Stingray card and the Fox and Berkana. You know, not revealing everything to all doesn't mean you're not being honest. It doesn't mean you act without integrity. It means you're acting with thought and you're acting with wisdom. You're being very careful about not escalating something or creating a scenario where something could sort of go wrong or go badly. And it's not that you're being dishonest, you're just being very thoughtful about the navigation. So there needs to be integrity right at the core of this. Authenticity or integrity, but also very clear boundaries at the same time. Oops, your cards are flying out. I'm going to take this one first. We have the Fool. A new beginning is coming, a new way of doing this. The new beginning is definitely coming. Berkana is about a whole new phase of growth, and you have the Fool. So a new beginning is coming, that's for sure. We have the Chariot, and it's coming quite soon. So that's absolutely very joyous, I think. Really, really exciting and lovely. We have the Seven of Cups. I think you need to evaluate, actually, the choices that are available to you, or to evaluate the overall situation and look at how best to navigate this. I think there's more than one way of approaching this. My card has fallen out, the King of Coins, and a very, very, very positive outcome. Lovely, loving the King of Coins here. So you can definitely take charge of this. You can definitely make this happen. You're going to get the outcome, the reward, the gain that you desire. You can definitely be on top of your game. You can take charge of the circumstances. But there are choices, there's more than one way of approaching this, and Spirit is actually saying, look, as long as you approach this with integrity, you're going to be able to create a sustainable outcome, something that's going to work. I think the change is coming quite quickly. Let's get more information for you. Maybe ask about what is coming next. What's the Chariot about? How interesting. This card came out in pile 1. If you were drawn to pile 1, there may be some connection for you. Protecting treasure. Okay. Follow the leader. And details. Right. So the circumstances that are around you, the situation. Protecting treasure suggests that the whole process is being guided and protected anyway. You're being protected in this. But you do need to take the lead, that there'll be sort of, the timing is actually right. I think that's why the Chariot has shown up. The timing is right to make a move of some sort. And this is very much about taking the lead. It's also about leading by example. So again, approaching this with authenticity, approaching this with integrity, paying attention to the details. If contracts are involved for any of you, or there are negotiations, then really pay attention to the details. Review all your options. Okay, there is a way of making this happen that will be very beneficial to all. It will be sustainable. It will provide a longer term outcome, whatever this is about for you. I'm seeing you very much in a leadership position with a fruitful outcome. Let's ask a little bit more about what's actually going on here. Maybe ask for some more guidance and information about what's actually happening. We have the card of the Rainbow. Okay. We have the card of Earth. And we have the card of the hummingbird. I feel there is a situation here that needs to be maybe healed, actually, with the rainbow bridge of healing. I think there can genuinely be a joyful outcome here. Now, maybe a slight shift in perspective is needed. Maybe that there are different perspectives in taking place here. Different people have different viewpoints and different perspectives. I need more information, actually. Let's draw some more tarot cards. What are we seeing here? What are we being given? The Star. There is actually a really beneficial outcome that can come from this, actually. There really is. Yes, and you have the World. Two very big major cards. Okay, I think that this situation has got you down, the sting in the tail. You're in a much more powerful position than you realise. This is what Spirit is needing to say to you. As long as you act with integrity, with loyalty to the truth, which you have done, everything is going to work out. As long as you act with integrity, pay attention to the details. I think there is a really favourable outcome. In fact, I think there is, whatever this circumstance is, it can sort of be wrapped up and completed, actually. Something can be brought to a close, and it can be done in a way that is actually very beneficial for all parties. So whatever you're trying to navigate, whatever hasn't felt good, yes, I say a stealthy approach, a wise approach, rather than stealthy. You know, foxes are very savvy. They're wise creatures. They're clever. And this is about navigating through wisdom and with integrity. And as long as you are holding that path, the outcome will actually be fabulous. In fact, I think something can be seriously sort of wrapped up and completed in a really, really good way. Let's draw some cards for the coming week. I mean, your messages are very clear, beautiful pile 2. What about the coming week? We have passion. We have trickery. Okay, right. This is about being your authentic self. Okay. And we have growth. Okay. Be your authentic self. Don't be afraid to do what you know is right. I think you're holding the path of integrity in a certain situation or a circumstance. I use the example of exiting something, but I think something basically can be brought to a conclusion or a kind of a completion this week. And the way you just literally stay on track. There's a new opportunity here for something to be done very, very differently, or for you to exit a circumstance and be away from it for some of you. But I think for a lot of you, it's about changing the way that something is working or currently operating. Now, follow what you know to be right. You don't have to be anything other than yourself. Act with wisdom. I do feel there's a little bit of trickery going on around you. So whatever the sting in the tail was, it's still going on around you. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes. But curiously enough, I think it's your integrity, it's you being you that is going to pull this off. You know, don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid to tell the truth. Don't be afraid to be your authentic self. And if necessary, don't be afraid to acknowledge or recognize you've outgrown something and you need to come away from it. You know, both of these cards, the green chakra is about, these are chakra cards, the green chakra is about the heart. You need to speak from the heart. There is some stuff, there's some prejudice going on around you, there's some trickery, there's some dishonesty. Just speak from the heart, be you, say how it is, with authenticity, navigate with thought and care, think about how to say it and when to say it in the right moment. follow the leader. You may notice in the follow the leader card there is a clock here, so timing. Think about your timing. I think the timing is right for you this week, actually, to say something, or there are certain situations around you where you can actually bring something to a completion, and don't be afraid to do so. This is the guidance for this week. Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to tell the truth. May we get a sneaky peek into where this might go, or what might come from this for you. Look at this. We have the Three of Wands and we have the Six of Pentacles. I mean, this is a card of generosity, of benefit, and the Three of Wands is a card of looking to the future. I think there's going to be a turnaround. I think in sort of almost like having a voice, because I do think there's a situation that with the sting in the tail that isn't really, you can't really remain in it. It's got to change. And I think that you are going to be able to look to the future in a very different way. And I think there'll be a turnaround. People will be coming to you. Maybe even, I think some of you may even receive an apology, actually, through stepping up and having a voice and just saying how it is, thoughtfully, tactfully, but genuinely, with authenticity, with integrity. I think some of you may even receive an apology. Actually, that's what I'm seeing here. So be thoughtful. Don't be drawn into anything. Be your authentic self. Yeah, with the wisdom that you have. And I think things are going to shift mammothly, actually, from the circumstances that are happening, potentially over the next 7 days. Wow, big stuff going on, big changes, big transformations. I mean, wow, and more wow. But pile 2, so much integrity. My heart goes out to you. This is the stuff that really changes people's lives, yours and other people that you come into contact with. My hat goes off to you. Big honor, big respect to you. Pile 2, tons of love. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you if you are a returning person to the Moon Magic Tarot channel, and if you're new, welcome. If this reading is resonating with you, do like, share, subscribe. All of these things really do help to maintain and support the channel. Beautiful souls, tons and tons of love to you. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. We're asking for immediate guidance and immediate message from Spirit for you. Now you have Algiz, the rune of protection. The rune of protection speaks about navigating emotions, particularly, the highs and the lows, not getting swept along by emotionality. The moth is about transformation. And we have a swift or a swallow here. I've really heard, right at the beginning, when I was drawing the cards and the runes, I heard this little nursery rhyme, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick. That's what just I was hearing. It was really interesting. So I'm thinking, what is that about? Is there something that is swiftly transforming, something that is swiftly coming to light that you need to be aware of your emotions in? Let's draw more cards and find out more. What is the immediate message and guidance for pile 3, please? May we ask very kindly if we could have this guidance. Now, this card came out in pile 1. So if pile 1 was speaking to you, you may well find it's got a message for you. Upper world, future. Okay. I feel you are something of your future is escalating, or the route to your future is escalating. There's something that's going to move quickly. Something maybe that you're manifesting is going to come to light or emerge quickly, swiftly. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. You might have to act accordingly. So, upper world, future. What else do we have? Medicine mask. This is really fascinating because this came out in pile 1. This came out in pile 2. So, beautiful souls, if you were drawn to either pile 1 or pile 2, maybe there is a message there for you. Kind of chuckling because it's quite rare to get, cards that are all intermingling. The piles are usually very different. Okay, I'm seeing something move fast. And managing how you feel. You know, emotions are very responsive. They're very immediate. You know, if you meet someone and if somebody treats you badly, you'll feel it immediately. You'll get an emotional reaction. If somebody treats you well, you'll get an amazing emotional reaction. If you meet someone and it's like you fall in love, the emotions are so powerful. So I feel there's an emotional situation that is opening up, transforming, escalating very fast around you. Let's draw more cards. What is this about? We have the Sun. Wow. Source energy. This is the card of happiness, and the Star. The Sun and the Star. Wow. And the Empress. Pile 3. You are seriously rocking this week. Wow. Something is going to emerge, escalate, happen. And these are powerfully good emotions. The Empress is a card of fertility, of abundance. The Sun, it's like the card of happiness. The Star, it's the card of hope and optimism. Something is really emerging for you this week. How magical, how absolutely magical is that? Okay, then you have the World. Wow. It's like there's, I guess it's like, excuse me while I just turn my light down, bear with me. There, that's better. It was really bright. But you know, maybe there's just something in that. There's a brightness around you. There's a light around you. I don't even know how my light got brighter. It seemed to be putting too much glare on the cards. But wow, there's a brightness coming into your life. A lightness coming into your life. It's like light, source energy is coming in. Your future is opening up. And I think something of your future, a dream, a hope, a wish, is about to manifest into your world, literally, imminently, and I think it's going to happen fast. You could literally be swept off your feet, in whatever context that is. Let's check out some more cards. May we have more information, guidance, a message as well. Okay, follow the leader. What is the message for pile 3? I mean, apart from an acknowledgement and a validation that this is about to happen. I mean, how exciting. If I was you, pile 3, I would not be complaining. We have the Deep Freeze and we have the Wizard of Awareness. Okay. The timing is right. Something that has been stuck is about to change. It may be that something is literally brought to light that transforms your world, opens something up, gives you new hope, creates a very different space for you for the future. It changes the lay of the land. Yeah, I think something comes to light. And it enables you to take charge of a situation. Wow, let's get more information. Could we have more information, please, about what this is about? I was going to draw these little cards. I think we will use these first. What is this about? May we get information. What is this about? So we have the Hunter. We have the Drum. We have the Sun. Wow, you've got the Sun showing up twice. Wow. And the Smoky Mirror. You see something clearly, you're shown something. Now this could be like a spiritual awakening, your spiritual sight. You see something, but also something could really come to your awareness. It could be like a light bulb moment where the penny drops. It could be that something you have been working at suddenly starts to move forwards. I feel with the drum, this is like walking to the beat of your own drum. But it's something that's making you really happy with the Sun. Something's brought into your world. It could be a gift, something you've had your eye on, comes to fruition. I mean, a moth is drawn to a flame, and we have the Sun showing up twice. The moth is drawn to the flame, something you are drawn to, or have been drawn to, or wanted to, or something is drawn to you. Perhaps you have been manifesting something that you really, really want. Wow, I think something is coming. Let's get more information. let's look at the week ahead. Can we get information about the week ahead? We have abundance. Wow. We have confusion, isolation. And insecurity. Okay. Right. Something comes to change your outlook about something. Again, it's like you feel like with the mask, the medicine mask, having to wear a mask, having to be something you thought was required. Isolation. This is an interesting card here. And the blue chakra is the throat chakra. It's to do with speaking. I think an opportunity presents itself to you this week, my beautiful souls. Like a moth to the flame, it's a very attractive proposition, whatever this may be. And your immediate guidance is saying, don't let insecurity hold you back. The isolation, this card speaks of someone who had a beautiful suit, but they never wore it. They never ever went out. They never tried it. They never tried it on. This is about you moving through the fog and the mist, and there's indecision here. This is what we're seeing in the coming week. I think you are given an opportunity. There's an invitation potentially to go to do something. And maybe you are anxious about whether you'll be accepted. The smoky mirror, confusion again. There's confusion for you, or a feeling as to some concern or anxiety around whether to do it, whether to try it, whether to go for it. And I think your reading is suggesting it would be really valuable for you to do so. You have conscious free will and choice. Funnily enough, I think the situation that's showing up as well for you this week, there's something that you could go to, that you could go and do. I sort of feel like it might present itself in a way that's unexpected. But either way, I think there's a real opportunity about to be, if it hasn't been offered to you yet, when you read this, when you have this reading, you find this reading, you may already be in the zone where it's there in front of you. If it's not already there, I think it will be very soon. It's actually an absolute blessing. It's bringing you something quite amazing. It's going to bring you an opportunity to really move towards something that you really, really want. And yet for some reason, when it shows up, which is why I think it might come in an unexpected form, or it may be at short notice, something comes along at really short notice and you think, oh, I can't do that. It's far too short notice. You know, if I do that, then I'll miss, then I'll be, you know, I'll be too tired for work tomorrow. This is saying, look, disregard all that, go and do it. Don't let your insecurities get in the way. Don't let your fears get in the way. Don't let any feelings of can't or shouldn't get in the way. This is a time to really acknowledge there's something you really want, and this is taking you to it or towards it. Wow, let's draw more cards. I think your message is really clear, and it's very time sensitive, because I think this is happening imminently. There will be something, an opportunity, an invitation, or a something. As I said, it could be short notice, which is why we have the swift. And your emotions, your immediate emotional reaction might be, oh, I can't do that. Or, you know, what if somebody phoned you and said, right, we're going out now, do you want to come? And you're like, oh no, I can't do that, I'm far too tired, or I haven't got time to get ready, or I this or that or the other, or da 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 da. I can't do that. Or, you know, that wouldn't really be for me. That wouldn't resonate with me. But actually there's something in it that's going to be a major gift for you. Just go, be yourself. There's definitely an opportunity that needs to be seized, and this feels very, very, very time sensitive, this message, actually, that you're receiving it. I'm not sure that you've actually received the message yet, I think, or the invitation or the opportunity, whatever it is. And remember, it may come in a shape or form that is unexpected. Wizard of Awareness. Yes, recognize that you're being asked to recognize it as an opportunity when it shows up, rather than sort of sit in a place of this, of sort of either despondency or it won't work out. Take the lead. Go for it. Okay. We have the Fool. Yeah, there's a new beginning being offered to you here. This is sort of one of those times when you do something and it changes the course of your future. And yet you wouldn't necessarily have realised that it was going to when you set out in the beginning. You wouldn't have known it was going to do that. Absolutely, we have the Three of Pentacles. So it could involve some form of social event, something connected to friends, or some form of collaboration. We have the Knight of Cups. Seize the moment. This is a bit like a dark horse. It's bringing something that you wouldn't have seen coming, that will be really, really valuable for you. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Wow, Knight of Cups moving to the Queen of Cups. Whatever this is that is of value, it will become apparent pretty quickly, actually, moving from the Knight to the Queen. There's quite a fast flow of energy there. So it will become apparent very quickly once you engage with this, or you do it, or you accept it, or that there is real opportunity here. So seize the moment. Don't lose an opportunity. This is your message this week, pile 3. Keep us posted. I mean, do let us know in the comments as the week progresses, because I'm just like tingling with excitement all over. This feels really, really magical. And it is as if it's sort of, yeah, literally, it's going to light you up. Wow, this is amazing. Right, beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. This is your reading. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're returning, you know, welcome, and thank you so much for checking in and being a part of this wonderful community that we're building here. And if this is resonating with you, do press the like, share, subscribe. All of these things really do help the channel. Thank you to all of you who are on Patreon and who are in the membership area of YouTube. Oh, and I think I didn't say this in, well, I forget whether I said this in pile 1 or pile 2. I may not have done. I had a conversation with my sister Jocelyn, who is an amazing astrologer, and I posted it yesterday on YouTube with some readings. So if you haven't checked it out yet, you might want to, because it's only on the main YouTube channel for 48 hours. It is on Patreon all of the time, and it's also in the membership area all of the time, so you guys can get to it at any time. But I put it onto the main channel just so that everybody had access to it for a short while, because she's such an amazing person, and so it's just brilliant to have an amazing conversation with her. So beautiful souls, tons and tons and tons and tons of love. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you for another reading, or I hope to see you for another reading really soon if the readings are resonating with you. And don't forget, I post these immediate guidance readings, and we look at the week ahead every Sunday. Tons of love, pile 3.